Hi, my name is Wendy Ivy Martinez. If you are new to my channel, hello, welcome. And if you are not new to my channel, welcome back. How are you, bestie? How are you, friend? It's nice to see you again. And I'm so glad that you're back. I'm so glad that you are back to my humble abode. Today we are going to be talking about some brand new books that are going to be coming out in March of this year. These are going to be horror, a lot of horror, and a couple of thriller books that are going to be coming out. So without further ado, let us go ahead and get started. Per usual, I'm going to start with the books to start off the beginning of the month all the way up until the end of the month, and it is going to be a combination of thriller and horror books. With the first batch of books coming out on March 5th, starting with Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Now this book is a thriller, and in this book we are following our main character Lisa as Lisa comes home one night and she is covered in her best friend's blood. Her best friend has been unalived and everybody is pretty sure that Lisa is the one that did it. Lisa, the envy of the town, along with her best friend, they've been besties for a very, very long time. Lisa has like the picture perfect husband. She has like the very huge wedding ring and an even bigger home. And Sevi was like a social butterfly who was super popular around the town, especially with the men, until that night. And Lisa just doesn't remember what happened. Did she do it? Did someone else do it? She ends up moving and eventually moving on from the situation until there's this really popular podcast that pops off called Listen for the Lie, and they are entering their second season. And for their second season, the host wants to basically take Lisa and Sevi's story and make it the entire second season. So now Lisa has to come face to face with her past again and really figure out who actually took Sevi's life, even if that means that finding out that it's herself that did it. This book looks really, really good. We are having a lot of, I noticed that there have been a lot of books, specifically thrillers, that have podcast themes in them. I haven't read any podcast themed thriller book quite yet, but I do have one that we are reading for a book club called None of This Is True, and this really sounds a lot like that one, like the Lisa Jewell one. It seems really good though. Let me know if you guys are going to be picking this one up. The next book that is going to be coming out on March 5th is called Murder Road by Simone St. James, and if you guys know Simone St. James, she writes a lot of like horror-ish books, and this one happens to be like a thriller with a supernatural aspect. And in this book we are following a couple as they're going to their honeymoon in July of 1995. Their name is April and Eddie, and they are on the road to this resort when they make a wrong turn and they end up on this road called Atticus Lane, or Atticus Line, I believe. And then they stop upon a hitchhiker who desperately needs their help. And they decide to, out of the kindness of their hearts, pick up the hitchhiker when they realize that there is blood on this hitchhiker's shirt. And they end up taking the hitchhiker to the hospital where she unexpectedly, passes away. And now they are having to go to the police station where the police is like, you know what? There has been a lot of murders that have been happening down this line, Atticus Line, or is it Addis Line? Something like that. And you guys are our only suspects now. And now April and Eddie, who only wanted to have a peaceful honeymoon, are forced to be in this situation where they were only trying to help a person out. And they get deeper and deeper in discovering who is doing all these murders, who is unaliving all these people, and they find a supernatural twist to it. The person that is committing these crimes might actually not be alive. They might be some sort of supernatural being. And the cost of saving this town may put April and Eddie in jeopardy as well. This book looks so good. I have not personally read anything by Simone St. James, but I do have the Sundown Motel, or Motel. I am very interested in reading that one. I'm very interested in reading a lot of her books, actually. They all seem very like intriguing. They all seem to have like that supernatural horror twist to it. I've heard nothing but good things about Simone St. James. So I'm excited for this one, honestly. I'm probably gonna pick up the Sundown Motel first and then get into this one, but I definitely want to read this year because I plan on reading a lot of like new 2024 releases in 2024. Does that make sense? All right, so there's that one. Now let us move on to the books. Actually, it's just one book that comes out on March 12th. Now the next book that I want to talk about is Through the Night Like a Snake, and this is by a collection of Latin authors because this is Latin America horror short stories. So we have a collection of Latin authors, including Mariana Enriquez, who wrote The Dangers of Smoking in Bed, Camila Sosa Villada, Claudia Martinez, Monica Ojeda, a whole bunch of authors, Latin authors who are writing a collection of short stories. And in this collection of short stories, we have very strange things. It's a collection of like horror mixed with like psychological disturbances, and I enjoy that. It really effed me up reading stuff like that last year, but at the same time it really did make an impact on me. So I am very interested in reading this collection of short stories. In one, we actually have a Kermit the Frog who dreams about murdering people, and then we have like a leaked tape. Can I say that word here on YouTube? I'll just bleep it out in case I can't. That leads to problems. It's basically like a collection of horror stories. It mixes horror with the psyche, and this looks so good. And the fact that it's by like Latin American authors, I'm all for this one. It looks so interesting. It is a very short, and I find that I actually do enjoy short story collections. I actually really like them. Now let's move on to a few other books that are actually coming out on March 19th. There's quite a few books that are coming out on March 19th. Starting with Where the Sleeping Girls Lie. This is a YA contemporary mystery thriller. A YA mystery thriller, let's just say that. And in this book, this is by the same author as Ace of Spades, and in this book we follow our main character. I believe her name is Sade or Sadie, and she is going to this boarding school, and she is so excited to finally get to go to a boarding school because she has been homeschooled her whole life, and she feels like tragedy just kind of follows her. So she's so excited to be going to a boarding school, and she meets her roommate, and then her roommate disappears that night. And then obviously people start questioning who is Sade / Sadie. They're like, I don't know how to say her name. I don't know if it's Sade or Sadie, so if I'm saying it wrong, it's one of those two, I believe. But anyways, so we follow her, and everybody is very suspicious of her, and then she catches the attention of the popular group, the Unholy Trinity. So she's dealing with her roommate that just disappeared, along with grief from home. Apparently there's a lot of tragedy in her family, so she also is dealing with that grief as well. And then a student ends up unalive, and then the whole school erupts into chaos, and she dives deeper into the history of the school, and she finds out that there might be something wrong with the school as well. This book very much gives me like, oh, what's that Leah Bardugo book, Ninth House? It gives me like those vibes, along with like The Maidens, I believe. It's very like dark academia, very interesting. I would be very interested in this if I read YA more consistently, but I am not a YA gal. A few YAs have been like hits for me, but not too many as much as like when I was younger. I used to read a lot of YA, not so much anymore. So I might be skipping this one, but it does sound very interesting if you are into YA. So another book that is coming out on the 19th is A Voice Calling by Cristopher Barzak, and this is a horror book about a house. It is called The Button House, and the Button House is haunted, and pretty much anyone that has ever come or approached the Button House has just, I don't know, cease to exist. Something happens to them, basically. Everyone that has lived or been around the Button House is just gone. Okay, so nobody approaches the button house until comes along Rose. Rose hears the pleas, the callings of the button house. And now Rose is so obsessed with learning how to free the spirits of the house, or free the spirit of the house. And she's willing to do anything it takes to finally put that house at peace or die trying. And this very much reminds me of Monster House a lot. So I'm very curious how they're going to take that whole concept of this actual house being haunted, and not spirits in it, but the actual house being haunted, and making it like more adult horror. This seems very interesting, and I'm probably going to be picking this one up on March 19th as well. Now, the next book I am super excited for. It comes out March 19th, and it is called How to Bury Your Husband. If you watch the show Why Women Kill, this book is probably going to be for you. This is a dark comedy thriller about these 4 women that end up unaliving their husbands because they are terrible people. We have husbands that are violent. These women are victims of just abuse in general, and one husband even finds out that their oldest daughter just came out, and they want to form like a riot against them. So these women are like, no, we are protecting our children, we are protecting ourselves, and they come up with a way to unalive their husbands and bury them and get away with murder. And it seems so good. Total Why Women Kill vibes with that like dark comedic. Plus these are like men that like deserve it. You know what I mean? So this looks so good. I have had my eye on this since like last year when I first saw it, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to read this. The fact that it comes out next month, I'm so excited for, because I need to get my hands on this immediately as soon as it comes out. But let me know if you guys are interested in reading this. Were you a Why Women Kill sort of fan? Because I was so disappointed when they canceled that show, because it was so good. Then lastly, on March 26th, we have Diavola by Jennifer Thorne. And in this story, we are following our main character, Anna, as she embarks on her regular family vacation. And she is like the black sheep of the family. Okay, she is the one that just doesn't fit in. She has a twin brother who brought his boyfriend, and everything's like fine and dandy. We have like the mother, and then we have the father who is constantly reminding everybody that like, don't forget, I paid for this. And then she has her older sister who brought her 2 kids and her nice little husband. And they are staying in this vacation home that they stay, I'm assuming, regularly, or at least annually. And then they start to hear noises, weird, strange noises at night. And then the local police is starting to say things are happening around where they're at, and they have to come face to face with the terrifying, violent history that the place that they're staying at has, and what the heck is going on. So this story is a horror book where we follow not only like a haunted house story, but we also follow the oddball, the relevant, being the oddball, the black sheep in the family story, which is very much relevant to me, and I'm pretty sure relevant to pretty much all of you. I feel like every bookworm is the black sheep in the family. I relate to this. I relate to not fitting in with like my family, everybody else being pretty normal, and then me being like the neurodivergent one. So I really do want to check this one out. This has been on my radar since the beginning of the year when I did like the anticipated releases for 2024. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. Plus, again, the beautiful cover. Anyways, let me know which ones you guys are anticipating down in the comments below. And if you made it to the very end, put a little house emoji for haunted houses. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I post. I post videos twice a week and then shorts throughout the week as well. So please, I would love for you to be a part of our friendship fam, our geeky goddess family. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. That we are reading for our book club. Ugh. I cannot talk because I am all for like cold season. I'm not all for cold season. I hate cold season. I'm always cold. That is what I'm trying to say. I'm always cold. It's hot today. It's hot today.